What's up everyone, welcome back to another POV analysis. Today we're going to be looking at Maru versus Scarlett. A really cool match of StarCraft 2. Obviously Maru has been, doing really well in TVZ recently, playing his Mech style. But in this game he's going to play Mech, but a little bit different. A style that I definitely like a bit more, where he plays a bit more aggressive maybe, instead of going for those 30-40 minute super long, turtle games. And I honestly, whenever I play Mech, I never really manage to kill Zergs early at all unless I'm really far ahead. So I will really want to know how he does it. Look at it from his POV. Now he is going to do just a regular build. I think he's going to go for a barracks first here. There we go. He's also been playing a little bit of CC first, but not quite going to be the case this time. Of course, this was a match from the global finals last week as well. The World Championship. $500,000 on the line. And Maru did bring his best builds. Obviously, any build that we see here is going to be extremely streamlined. His tactics are going to be on point. And one thing that I find very interesting too is that he decided to play Mech on 2000 atmospheres, because in the StarCraft community, Mech has actually not been seen as very strong recently at all. Maru is the only one that really makes it look good, but even then, it is mostly on really good Mech maps, such as Hardwire, maybe on Blackburn, and that's it. But Maru also has other Mech tactics. On maps where he doesn't really have to camp for the win, like 2K Atmospheres, a map I've seen him play Mech on multiple times, including in the GSL. I remember seeing a really cool game against Ragnarok. And now he pulled it out against Scarlett as well. Just going to open with the Marine first. This was actually Maru's most preferred build during the global finals. Instead of going for the Reaper, normally he just went for the Marine, denied a little bit of Overlord scouting, went into a Marine drop. And honestly, it looked very strong. I think he used it in every single TVZ series he played. He played against Raynor and Scarlett and Serral, I think. And he used it against all of them at least once. And I think even multiple times in some of the series. So it definitely shows that this build he's using is very good. It is a very multitasking heavy build at the same time. Like what he's going to end up with is going to be a Marine drop, Hellions, battle cruisers. And honestly, it doesn't stop there. I tried to copy the build, but at some point I kind of get lost a little bit. And yeah, Maru keeps on the pressure so well that from the moment he starts his pressure in a few minutes, I definitely want to look at this game from his POV and see how he just manages all the multitasking and stuff. Because honestly, when I did it, guys, it was a complete mess. And yeah, definitely not quite to Maru standards. But keep in mind, he makes single Hellions from the factory here. He doesn't quite swell them over. The reason for that is that he wants enough Marines to fit into the medevac, so he can have a powerful drop. Obviously, a 3 or 4 Marine drop would not really get anything done right. So yeah, gonna make 2 single Hellions from that factory, and I think it's 7 Marines from this barracks, and then he swaps it over. The timings on this build are a little bit weird. If you want to get the exact timings done, you'll probably have to watch the replay, because I don't know, sometimes I feel like he skips the Hellion for a bit. He gets the battle cruiser before he moves out and before the third. And it's all just a little bit different than a regular build. Here he's going to start the medevac. One thing that I noticed already that's kind of weird is that he does not spread the Marines around the edges. And I think the reasoning behind that is that he doesn't want to give away the fact that he has multiple Marines and give away the build like that. And if the Overlord comes in, he will kill it anyway, right? If the Overlord comes in, the scouting will pretty much be the same as if he would have Marines around the edges. But if the Overlord gets in, it would actually die instead of just chilling on the edge and seeing your Marines from there, right? So he's going to send out the medevac. He's going to pop down the fusion core. Factory is over on the reactor. And this is the setup he wants to go for. And now let's see how he's going to handle all of this from his point of view. 30C should be going down relatively shortly, I think. So he sends the medevac straight to the main. He seems to not care if this is really scouted, by the way. Because he literally flew it straight over everything, over the watchtower. Over a little bit of the creep even. Deflected by Zerglings, moves it back. And I've seen he has a few different ways to do this. Sometimes he sends the medevac into the main with the Marines and sends the Hellion into the natural. But in this case, the Marines got nothing done. So then he groups up with the Hellions and tries to attack the Queens. Scarlett here with really good defense though. 5 Queens ready for that. Definitely not a favorable trade. So then he does... Oh, this is actually really cool. I haven't seen this one yet. This is a third form of aggression. When the Queens are well positioned on the front, he actually sends the Hellions to drop into the main instead of the Marines, which is super cool. There's actually a bunch of Zerglings here. Let's see how this does. Okay. Oh! Oh, no way. 12 drones like that. That's actually an insane move. That target fire. Drones lining up. Zerglings are there. Scarlett felt safe. Transferred the drones back. And then out of nowhere, Maru honestly getting 16 drone kills with 3 Hellions, where he probably should not have gotten more than 5. That was actually really sick already. But during the attack, he got these extra gases. Added some more factories. And what I'm really curious to see now is how he follows this aggression up. Because at this point, I feel like up until this point I can do this build. I don't think I definitely wouldn't have made the move to kill 16 drones there. But up until this point, the build feels very executable, right? But after this, after the BC warps in, I want to know how he keeps up the aggression. So the BC goes into the main. Yeah, there's 4 queens and a spore there, so that's a little bit of an unfortunate teleport. Obviously, Scarlett was probably expecting this battlecruiser. Notice how Maru is moving 3 squads around the map. If you can look at the minimap, the Marines with the medevacs on the left side, Hellions positioning on the right, and battlecruiser around the main. Obviously, this is a very difficult thing to do. If you try this at home, definitely prepare to just randomly lose your Hellions a few times in some games. Because, yeah, this takes a lot of APM. And besides APM, it also takes good movement as well. Because even if you're looking at the Hellions, if you don't micro them right, you're still going to lose them. Now, look at what he did here. Maybe you guys didn't notice, so I'm going to touch on it quickly. He actually skipped the second battlecruiser to afford the second factories and the armories, right? So he could have made that second battlecruiser before, but actually getting his infrastructure up was more important. And at the same time, normally if you play Mech, you feel like you make your 5th and 6th gas instantly. He actually did not really get them instantly at all. He got his upgrades first, and then he started a 5th gas. I would be surprised if it's intentional to just get the 5th gas, by the way. I feel like he should probably definitely get the 5th and 6th at the same time. So the next time he looks at his 3rd base, he'll probably be getting that as well. Let's see. There you go. Taking that 6th gas. And also notice this in the production tab, by the way. This is a move I've only seen Maru make so far. This is a Maru exclusive. He lost his Hellions. So instead of using his factories with tech labs to make tanks, he makes more Hellions because he needs more. I feel like I would see no one actually do that besides Maru. But he just wants Hellions to be safer against run-bys and to be able to put more pressure on himself. So now he has 2 VCs. He's moving out on a little squad on the 4th base. A few Hellbats, Marines and a medevac. VC is moving around in the main. Keep in mind at this point that VC has the recall available, so he can just right-click a few drones and then teleport right out. Which is what he's gonna do. He should probably not teleport that second BC in, but Maru's really smart. Obviously, he knows all the ins and outs of this. He knows that the Corruptors or the Mutas are already on the way, so he won't be doing that. But this timing here is actually insane. He just sniped the 4th base with a bunch of Marines and 3 Hellbats. That's next level, guys. So then after the 1-1, he gets the Yamato and the 4th base. Notice as well that he gets the 4th base before the additional factories. So at this point, he's still only on 3 factories. There's no 4th or 5th on the way yet at that point. I'm just trying to get more damage. Oh, we actually lose that BC. Maru making mistakes. Has to happen, guys. I'm telling you. Whenever these legendary tier players play, they still make mistakes, just like you and me. They probably look a bit less stupid making them, but, you know, they still do make them. So you can go a little bit easier on yourself. I think as long as you get the strategy down of something like this, you'll do really well. Notice how he also instantly started Cyclones when he saw there were Corruptors. He did not actually make more tanks, he just made more Cyclones. I'm just gonna jump off his POV in a little bit to highlight this. Notice that he makes a little bit of a SimCity here in the top. This is mostly for stuff like Roach Corruptor timings. Like, you do not want to be able to be swarmed here by Roach Corruptor. So that way you can focus all your tanks on this part. This could actually potentially be turned into a PF as well, by the way. That would actually not be a bad move. And that way you can survive those timings. Though the scouting on this is honestly very delicate. If there is a Roach Corruptor timing, for example, you probably also do not want to be making Cyclones. One thing that's really crazy about this build, by the way, that I didn't notice before, is that, like, this sounds really stupid, right? But those 7 Marines he has actually serve as a bit of a help against the potential Corruptor timing as well. Something that I didn't really think about before. But those Marines would definitely help scare them away a little bit. It looks like he's going up to 7 factories here. he has a little squad of Cyclones. He's actually making more Cyclones. One thing I don't quite understand why there are so few tanks in this game. I feel like normally you always go to a minimum of 6 tanks. He only has 3 tanks at this point. And I wonder what scouting he did exactly to let him know that he could actually get away by making 7 Cyclones. For the people that don't know, the weakness of Cyclones is pretty much they're only good if you can micro them over a long distance. If you're fighting straight up against anything, they absolutely suck. If you get Roach all in, Cyclone is like the worst thing you can have. So now he's already starting a bunch of Thors. He's getting 2-2 on the way. I think he made 3 battlecruisers in total, right? He's with his battlecruisers on the right side. He sees the army there on the minimap, so he knows he can move in here. If he didn't see the army on the right side, because this looks a little bit weird from his POV, right? And the reason why it looks weird is because we can't see where Maru is looking. But if Maru did not see the army on the minimap on the right side, he would have pulled back his Cyclone Hellion. Simply put, because if he didn't see the army, he could have gotten surrounded. And yeah, like I said, if Cyclones are directly combating something, if you're surrounded, they're going to trade very, very poorly. So notice how Maru is actually making an insane amount of Thors. I think this definitely could have something to do with just the fact that he saw a lot of Corruptors without any timing being hit. Brute Lord timings are relatively popular these days against Mech. I think Raynor showed how strong it was as well in this same tournament. So it is very possible that you'll see the Mech players add Thors a little bit earlier. And now he's going to move out with his little squad. And this is a really cool split of units. He has the Cyclone Hellion, the mobile force in the top. There's not enough Link Baneling to actually surround that for the most part. And then he's going to move out on the bottom. A big weakness of Mech, in my experience, is that if there's Ravagers out, you always have to siege so slow, and you're always going to keep losing tanks to Biles over and over. So what Maru did here is he distracted the entire army, just so he would be able to get in position in the bottom. Because this army that Maru has, honestly, it does not look terrifying. It's 3 tanks, a bunch of Thors, and 2 battlecruisers, right? But because he was able to get in position, it is already going to trade a lot better than you would expect. Now we can move back into the top again as well. And I'm not kidding, guys. I'm watching this from POV. I've analyzed everything, and I still don't know how he killed someone this easily with Mech, because I do not kill people fast with Mech unless I'm really far ahead. And he made this look really simple. I mean, looking at the money, the game would not be over, but this is about to be a 5-base Terran against a 4-base Zerg, which is pretty tragic. For the Zerg, at least. So this is kind of like a 2-2 Thor timing. I mean, I'll try it out. I'm not sure if I can actually make this work. This looks like this would probably end in a disaster in a lot of my games. Definitely excited to try it out, though. But yeah, I really wanted to show you guys this game because normally Maru's Mech games are very long, 30-40 minutes with Ghost, and he doesn't really win before that usually. He does a lot of damage, but he doesn't end it with timing attacks. This to me felt like a 2-2 timing attack. He got all of his upgrades, the Blue Flame in the servos most notably. Got his 5-base setup, and then he just ended the game with a timing. And what I like so much about this is not so much the exact timing he did, but it shows that you can actually win with Mech before 35 minutes into the game, which is really cool. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video as well. Hope you guys enjoyed the game. Don't forget to sub and like, and I'll see you guys next time. Adios.